Hey everybody, welcome back to another MCQ PTQ video on Magic Online. This time the format is Pauper, which is really awesome. I appreciate that Wizards of the Coast is showcasing this great format, giving it a real platform to play on. And this is the second Pauper Pro Tour Mythic Championship Player Tour qualifier that I am aware of in the world. One was live, and this one is on Magic Online. And I expect in the future that these are going to be really popular. So the deck I've chosen for today is Jeskai TronArch. I call it TronArch because it has the Tron lands and the Monarch, thus TronArch. So I'm really into this deck because the core Skyfisher, Glinthawk, Arkham's Astrolabe engine is really messed up. You see it in a lot of different shells, but this shell also has two of Pauper's other most powerful engines in it. So at the time of this recording, there's a banned and restricted list announcement coming in about 2 days, about 48 hours out. I expect that this might not be a thing we can do anymore, the Astrolabe loop, but I'm going to get it while it's good. So this is the best thing you can do in Pauper right now. These Glinthawk, Core Fisher, Arkham's Astrolabe. There's something about a 1-mana 2/2 flying that cantrips that's just good. Imagine that. And the other best thing you can do in Pauper right now is assemble Tron. That's the Urza Mine Power Plant Tower combination. You get 3 lands into play, they tap for 7, and next comes fun and profit. So this deck has that engine and the Tron engine, and one of the other best engines in Pauper is the Monarch. When you're the Monarch, you draw a card in your end step. And if you take combat damage, the person who damaged you becomes the Monarch. And then it goes back and forth for the rest of the game. Once someone becomes the Monarch, someone will be the Monarch for the rest of the game. There's not a way to remove Monarchy. So that emblem's just going to go back and forth with combat damage. So this package, sometimes you have Tron draws where you get Expedition Map, 2 Tron lands, you map for the third one, and then you have 7 mana on turn 3, and with a Prophetic Prism, you can cast a turn 3 Mulldrifter, and the game should be pretty easy from there. Though, one of the great strengths of this particular build of Tron is that it doesn't need Tron. Because of the Astrolabe and Hawk Skyfisher package, you can keep a hand with just like Plains Island Astrolabe and have a reasonable game plan. But the clock is always ticking on your opponent that Tron will eventually get assembled, and then these Mulldrifters and these Karavix Torches are coming your way. This deck also gets to play, because it's white, you get Journey to Nowhere, which is one of the best removal spells in the Stompy world. Stompy is one of the best decks in Pauper right now, and being able to remove a threat regardless of how big it is very important. And you have a little bit of room for a main deck Relic. Because we don't need 4 maps, because we have a plan that doesn't require map, we get space for a Relic. That's nice. Relic is kind of funny in this deck because everybody thinks that Tron needs its graveyard to win, which is generally true of the Flicker Tron decks that win with Ghostly Flicker, Mnemonic Wall, Ephemerate, etc. But this deck there's 2 Deep Analysis, 3 Prismatic Strands, and that's it. Just 5 cards with Flashback. That's the only care about the graveyard that the deck has. I frequently, when I play this deck, have people bring in relics against me, and they just don't do anything. So it's pretty cool that we get to play that. And I have a main deck Weather the Storm. Our worst matchups are the ones that kill us before we get online, which is pretty standard of big mana, go over the top strategies. Like if they kill you before your engine's online, then good. Those are nice Tron lands in your hand. You're dead. So Weather the Storm and Prismatic Strands buy a whole lot of time against that. Strands with Palace Sentinels is the classic combo. This prevents all damage from a color of your choice for the turn, and you flash it back by tapping an untapped white creature. Palace Sentinels happens to be a white creature. So a lot of the Monarch-based games, you'll cast an early Prismatic Strands, and then at some point you'll jam Palace Sentinels, and you know they can't take the Monarch that turn because you have Strands in your graveyard. And once you can fog a couple times, you should be able to take over with the Monarch, all those extra cards. And then while you're doing this Palace Sentinels, Monarch, Core Skyfisher, Glint Hawk thing, Karavic's Torch is looming. At any point, they could just die from 14, 18. You could just kill them right off the top. So I really like what this deck is doing. My sideboard heavily slanted against not losing to burn. I have 5 cards for burn. Then against control decks and other Tron decks, there's 2 Pyroblast, 2 Dispel. Relic of Progenitus comes in against Tron Mirrors also. Electricity for elves, and if anyone left in the world is playing fairies, ready for them. And then Patrician Scorn and Standard Bearer are to clear up Bogles. It is tough to deal with a 11/11 hexproof creature with this deck, but Patrician Scorn should cure what ails you there. And I'm really excited to play this deck. I don't know that I'll be able to play it much longer, like I said, but hopefully we're going to have 8 or 9 rounds of Swiss today, plus hopefully 3 more rounds straight to the Pro Tour after that in the top 8. So there's going to be a lot of TronArch today, and I'm looking forward to getting into it. Here we are. It's round 1. Seconds before the tournament began, this crossed into 9 rounds, so we are going to have a long day. But the good news is we have natural Tron with the turn 2 Prism along the way in our opening hand on the play in round 1. So I'll take that. All right, our opponent's on Stompy, and they have produced the only creature in their deck that is not green for this Prismatic Strands. However, Muldrifter should be able to tangle with it pretty well. Vault Scourge notably does not have 2 power, so it does not get the boost from Savage Swipe. Alright, how nutty are they going? Do they have a second Emissary? They do. Alright, we both had our nut draw. Good thing I'm on the play. Alright, so Savage Swipe is live. They have plenty of 2/2s now. Yep, there it is. Okay, good. They put Rancor on a green creature. I'm gonna need a white creature to flashback this Prismatic Strands, though. Like, we're not safe yet. So I'm going to block Vault Scourge, then fog the rest of these things. Oh, good. They went for the wrong choice. That will only matter, though, if I don't find a white creature. Alright, we found a white creature. Good. I should slow my roll here. So, I haven't played a land yet. I can map for another tower, and that's mana neutral. tower. Alright. Now I get to fish up this Prophetic Prism. Draw another card. Alright, Journey to Nowhere is unlocked for the Pit Skulk in the future. Because I attack with Muldrifter. Yeah, the smart attack is just with Pit Skulk here. I think I just let them have it. If they're making a non-lethal attack, I'm going to bank that Strands for later. Alright, so Eldrazi Spawn notably is not green. Alright, so I can flashback Deep Analysis going to 1. There is 1 Weather the Storm in my deck. Yeah, I think this is worth doing. Hope I don't get gut shat. Ooh, Palace Sentinels. Not that I need more cards, but a 2/4 body is always nice. And what can I do with this tower? I can play this relic and play this map. So I'm going to Strands this turn because I want to be able to pop relic to answer Rancor permanently next turn, but I can't pop relic now because I need my Strands to survive. Alright, I have a Hajillion blockers. So Muldrifter is still safe to attack. I'm going to leave back Sky Fisher, though. Right, so I think my best draw is Torch. Yeah, so can't block that one. Prevent green damage. Alright, now we get to do the trick where we get rid of Rancor forever. Hopefully. Vines would stop this from happening. Just hope they don't have vines. Clear out these graveyards. I could have done this slightly more efficiently. I could have cracked map and cycled for a basic to thin out my deck a little more before I drew my card. Alright, well, here's all of the lands in my deck are present. I guess I should map before this draw step too. I have 4 blockers, they have 4 attackers, I'm at 1. We're dead to Savage Swipe, but I think they have to respect that we might have, you know, literally anything. Though maybe they can't. I think if they have anything, they have to shove this turn. Island Walk. Alright, I haven't played an island. Smartly played around that. Good. We got a couple redraws now. Oh, torch. Are they dead? So I can attack for 6 and torch for 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They're almost just dead to the torch. Prismatic Strands, hell of a magic card. Nice. All right, our not draw beat their not draw barely. All right, so against this deck, Electrickery doesn't actually do anything. Don't be fooled. All their important creatures are X2s or can regenerate. Weather the Storm can buy a bunch of time. Standard Bearer. This one, it dies to Savage Swipe like a boss, but it also blanks all their tricks while it's in play. If they want a Vines or Howlpack or Rancor, they have to target Standard Bearer. I didn't see any compelling reasons to bring in Patrician Scorn. Like, Rancor is going to come right back. We don't have to worry about that. And sometimes they play Moldervine Cloak. Sometimes they have Elephant Guide. Sometimes they don't. So until I see a compelling reason to bring in Scorn, I'm not going to. Got to cut 2 things here, though. The Relic trick, clearing out Rancor is fun, but these sideboard cards are better. And we got to lose 1 more card here. It might just be map. Because we're playing kind of small and scrappy. Or it might be Palace Sentinels. Unless I have Prismatic Strands ready, Sentinels could be a liability. Like, I don't want them to become the Monarch, but I do like having a 2/4 body. Yeah, I think Sentinels is the cut. And there's our deck. Dispel is also defensible. This hand is not a keeper. Especially in the London Mulligan world, don't get attached to shitty 7s. Like, this deck can win on 5 and 6 pretty easily. Alright, this hand does not do anything either. Oh, it's just getting worse. Alright. Snap keep on 4. So, I'm keeping 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, definitely getting rid of the redundant power plant. Getting rid of the redundant map. And I'll bottom this Plains also. Okay, so we have turn 3 Tron. We're going to need some colors, though. Let's hope they don't have their... No Burning Tree Emissary. Give me a break here. Give me a little bit of breathing room. Also, if they Gleeful Sabotage this, we could be in trouble. Alright, how deep are we going? Oh, just 1. Didn't even have a 2-drop. Cool. I'll take that. Alright, so I'm going to get the Mine and just hope to spike a Prophetic Prism off the top. I could get Plains also and just try to play the game fairly. But on 4, I don't think we're going to have that luxury. Okay, Mine. Prophetic Prism. Oh, baby. Never didn't have it. Welcome to Tron. LOL. Maul to 4, no problem. Yep, there's the Savage Swipe. My goodness, that's a powerful magic card. Taking 7 here, we're at 9. Oh my god. Alright. This turn's gonna get weird. And by weird, I mean excellent. We're gonna play a Glint Hawk, draw a bunch of cards, and gain a whole bunch of life. Yeah, I think just gaining 12 here is better than drawing 2 cards. We don't have a snow source to keep going, unfortunately. And we're just at 21. NBD. We can draw 4 cards next turn and figure out how we want to win the game from there. Alright, another swipe. Continue hawking out here. I'm going to start with the deep analysis, though. That shows me more things, so I can map out my turn a little better. All right, knowing that I have prismatic strands coming is big. Another hawk. All right. I definitely have room to do this. They have 1 card in hand. All right. We're out of land drops. We're at 14. They have 1 card in hand, and our creatures are better than theirs. All right, so they don't have a pump spell, or else this Pit Skulk would have attacked too. Like, they're okay with trading, but they don't want to lose a creature for free. I'm cool clearing the Pit Skulk, but I don't want to lose my last white creature for now when I'm still sitting on strands. Vault Scourge. Okay, that's why they wanted to clear out my flyers. They just drew theirs. Unfortunately for them, I play a whole lot more flyers than they do. Alright, so I think getting this Astrolabe down and streamlining my Skyfisher loop is worth doing. Alright, so you have to do this a little weirdly. You have to make sure to create a Snow White and also a regular white if you want to replay your Astrolabe. Alright, how deep are we going here? I can flashback deep analysis, go to 9, and still have up mana for prism, for strands. There's a torch. All right, we have a win condition and a tower. Yeah, no reason to get greedy. I could draw another card this turn, but you know why? All right, there's the Elephant Guide. So they do have them. I still don't think I'm bringing in Scorns. So this creature is just full unblockable. I'm not interested in taking 4. Prevent green damage, and I'm going to cycle this while I have mana floating. I'm not going to get an island because they've showed me they have Riverbow in their deck. I don't need it. I have 5 prism effects. Alright, time to do torch math. Are you dead? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I can put them to dead for exactsies if they have something like Weather the Storm. So if they do that, they'll be at 3, and they attack for 4, 5, 6, 7. So I could lose if they have exactly that. So I can play this a little conservatively. I probably don't have to, but I'm going to. No reason to lose this game now when we mostly can't lose. Sentinels, that's a sweet one. Let's get this standard bearer in. No tricks are coming our way. Now we're the Monarch. And I can attack with one of my flyers. Yeah, because they have to kill Standard Bearer if they have a removal spell. So I'll just soften them up a little bit here. I have 3 other white creatures. Alright. Should be pretty elementary from here. Yeah, I can even journey their... Alright. Let's hope they show me their last card. Alright. I don't think it matters. Like, what could possibly happen? Alright. When enchanted creature dies. Yeah, Journey just clears this out without even caring. Alright, so... 7, 14, 15, 16. I can torch for 16 and attack for 4. Or I can continue being a coward. I think that's fine. I'm going to attack, see what happens. And with the flyers. Alright, so they're at 15. 3, 6. Alright, doing the math again. 14, 15, 16. So I can burn them out for 16. I am reasonably confident that they don't have life gain in their deck. But I'm not even dead if they do. So let's do it. Alright, let's go upstairs, and good enough. Yep. Just out-muscling Stompy like you read about. See you in round 2. And we're back for round 2. This hand doesn't do anything. We're on the draw. Oh, this hand is close. Huh. On the draw, if we hit any artifact in the first 2 turns, including like Expedition Map or Relic of Progenitus, this hand is functional. If we hit Astrolabe, we just go off. A map gives us turn 3 Tron. I'm willing to gamble a little bit on this one. Bottom the island. Our opponent's on 5. So they're either unlucky or also on Tron. Snow Forest. Is this Bogles? Yeah, it sure looks like Bogles. Yeah, we're going to have to find some action if we want to beat Bogles game 1. At least I hope it's Bogles, as funny as that sounds, because it is kind of a rough matchup. But if it's not Bogles, it's some sort of Ponza deck, which sounds like a nightmare. Alright, so they're passing turn 2 without a threat in play yet. Hopefully we're able to punish them. Come on, Astrolabe. Prism. Alright, we're in business, folks. Alright, now it's time to root for a power plant off the top. So against Bogles game 1, our plan is going to be to assemble some threats. And we can use prismatic strands to fog them multiple turns in a row until we're able to burn them out with a torch. Alright, let's hope we don't get disenchanted here. That's not normally a thing, but it would certainly blow us out. Alright, we dodged. We dodged the card the deck doesn't play. Right, that's a backup tower, but that's okay, because next turn we're going to start skyfishing the prism. And at any point, if we just... Actually, if they don't present a threat, I'm going to jam Sentinels here. Or we just draw a power plant and go completely ape. Alright, so... I'm going to just put all these skyfishers into play right now. How's that sound? Ooh. Does that do anything? If we play Astrolabe instead, it doesn't do anything this turn, but it does give us an extra thing in play for next turn. Yeah, so that's worth doing. It's free and gives us... Oh, no. Alright, how... Alright, Magic Online. Why are you using my snow mana first? I don't want that to happen. Alright, I'm going to have to tap this differently to manually do what I want it to do. Alright, so I'm going to play it, maintaining priority, and then make a snow mana. Okay, that'll do it. That was weird. It let me do it last match, but now it wanted to spend my snow mana first. Whatever. Alright, boom. I think we're going to steal game 1 against Bogles. Though the way this game's been playing, their hand is probably full of pants and nobody to wear them. Or they're just not Bogles and something else is happening entirely. But either way, I feel pretty good. If you're not familiar with Pauper, there's not a whole lot of BS that can happen. Like, there's no cards exist in the format where they could just, like, untap and storm me out or something. Like, that's just not really a thing. I say that, and then they're going to do it. They're going to find a way. I'm just going to fill my hand with cards and my board with threats here. Now we are the Monarch. Deep Analysis coming. Alright, yeah, there's a good chance that they die next turn. They're taking 10, and if we find a torch in our many draws, alright, or they're just dead. Alright, cool. I'm glad we stole game 1 because that's the hard one. Now we bring in this sort of stuff, which should shut them down pretty well. Alright, Relic is not super helpful. Or, I lied. Journey to Nowhere is the worst card in my deck against the deck full of hexproof creatures. And I'm boarding in Tranquility effects. So having enchantments that, when they die, give their opponent their creatures back. If they had any threats at all. Or any creatures at all. So, Weather the Storm could buy me some time. Like, these are the 3 cards I want in the deck, but I want all of these out. So now it's just like, what's the next best card? Relic could clip a Rancor, and at worst it cantrips. But Dispel might be better. Their entire sideboard is instants. Like, they bring in, like, Flaring Pain, where you can't prevent damage. They bring in Dispels of their own. So I think Dispel is better than Relic of Progenitus is going to be in this matchup. I'm deciding if the second Dispel is better than the second Weather. I don't think that it is. Alright, let's do it. So this hand doesn't actually do anything. Can't even cast the Small Drifter. These Tron lands, despite having 4 different arts, are only 2 different cards. Alright, so I'm going to mulligan that. This one's got the turn 2 Standard Bearer. I'm keeping this. And it's got 2 Tron lands and a map. Snap keep. Ash Barrens to the bottom. Alright, there's a Bogle. Cha-ching. Handful of sideboard cards, not even mad. So let's see how many pants they can put on this. Alright. Currently 0. Wow. Alright, let's see if they have a gut shot or some answer to Standard Bearer. Because if they don't, this game is going to end on turn 2. And even if they do, I have the Scorn to clean up in the mid-game. Like, Patrician Scorn is an instant, so you can make your blocks and then knock off all their auras and kill their creatures. Alright, here is the devil himself for the Bogle deck. We are going to need an artifact. A filtering artifact. Oh no, they made red mana. Oh, they flung their Slippery Bogle at my Standard Bearer. You do what you gotta do. Alright. Fair enough, opponent. I see you. So I could map for Island to evoke the Small Drifter and make sure cards keep coming. Now, I'm just going to get the tower and hope to hit an artifact. Alright, I have this Scorn. Let's see how far they want to commit on this Bogle. Put something else on it. Put 2 more things on it even. Load it up. Go for lethal. Bummer. That's not the one I really wanted them to have. Alright, I mean, I'll use it to gain a bunch of life here. But I wish I could have killed the Bogle in combat. Yeah, this is an instance of Tron's mana base hurting it. Like, the colored mana sources are really important. And when you don't have them, the deck can look pretty bad. Alright, Strands will buy me some time, but... So they have 2 cards in hand, 3 cards in hand now. 1 is Rancor. They've already cast Fling. They usually only play 1. I'm going to be super judicious with my strands. Like, if they want to fling here, I'll just name red with strands, and then I win, because they don't have anything left. Alright, all dressed up, nowhere to go. So if we hit an artifact next turn, we can cast Maul Drifter. Hope for the best, I guess. Map is good because it gets Island. Island is good because it casts Maul Drifter. And we're dead. Just did not get our colors together on that one. Good start. Couldn't convert. Oh, Sentinels would have been a great draw there. Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to change any cards. Like, it's just, do I want this Dispel or not is the big question. Dispel might be better than Weather. Alright. I'm going to do it like this on the play. I could bring in Electrickeries on the play too, but I'm not convinced that that's better than just going big with the Scorns and the Strands. Because it's really hard for me to have red and a colorless on turn 2. Like, I have to have Astrolabe. Alright, so this one has lots. We're gonna draw lots more cards, but it doesn't really hit that hard. Though we have a turn 2 Glint Hawk. I'm gonna keep this. They also kept 7. That's a bummer. So the mine is gonna cycle Ash Barrens for our plains, and then plains casts Astrolabe, Astrolabe casts Glint Hawk, picking up Astrolabe. Let's just hope they do something like Astrolabe or Utopia Sprawl on this turn instead of getting straight to business with their Bogle. Alright, cool. Alright, so we definitely need to hit some lands here, but our hand is set up to play for a while. Come on, land. Shit. Alright, I guess we're in a little trouble here. I'm not blocking, so I'm gonna attack. This creature does not have reach. Trying to figure out how much damage they could possibly do this turn. It could be a lot. Like, if they have another Ethereal Armor, that's +4. Alright, so they have a 7/7 now. Ugh. Yeah, we need a land right now. Like, we are dead if we don't draw a land. Alright. Gods be praised. We found one. We get to attack this turn. Next turn we don't get to attack, but we do get to cast Prisms. It's possible I should have cast the Strand's Upkeep to play around like a Dispel. Yeah, if they have Dispel or Flaring Pain, we just lose, but can't play around that. Skyfisher. They're probably going to pick up their Abundant Growth, I would imagine, unless they want to move Ethereal Armor over to Skyfisher and diversify their threats. No, they picked up the growth. That's probably smart. All right, so now that I drew this land, I think I'm just going to slam Palace Sentinels this turn. That'll get cards coming. I can block and Strands. I can block Skyfisher. I get super punished though if they can give their Skyfisher trample. That's the way this goes wrong. But this is my best window to do this though, so I'm going to take it. Can't attack because I'm going to have to block. They have threats of 2 different colors. I'll feel okay if I draw a Scorn at basically any point. Shit. Well, there is the exact nightmare I described. So now I just don't block the Skyfisher. Just going to name green. I'm going to take 4. They're going to become the Monarch. I attack back with Palace Sentinels, and then I become the Monarch again. Come on, land. All right, we got to land. That means we can Prism. Tron piece. All right, that's a Mull Drifter. So I have to attack to take the Monarch back. So I could defend the Monarchy entirely this turn by Strandsing green and white. Or I could block Skyfisher with Hawk. All right, let's see what they do. It's possible that I can retake the Monarchy next turn and kill Skyfisher with Karavic's Torch while still holding up Prismatic Strands. Could also just go to 1 and not block. It's kind of scary against Fling, but we're dead to Fling anyway. So protection from green. I'm gonna go to 1. I don't like it, but it is what it is. I want to make sure I can take Monarch back next turn. Come on, land. Always need a land. It's kind of like a land. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If I attack with Glint Hawk. Alright, so I'm going to attack with Glint Hawk. Retake the Monarch. Deal 3 to this Core Skyfisher. They can't dispel this because spells cost 2 more that they target, and I'm holding a dispel of my own. Alright, so they get their Rancor back. I can't cast this map. I have to hold up dispel. Kind of hope they do fling at this point. Alright, that's why I didn't cast map. They've drawn a lot of cards. Green. Alright, we're not out of this. We still need a Scorn. There's 1 Strands left in the deck. There it is. All right. So let's draw some cards. Gotta play this. I'm gonna attack while I have attacks. Alright, we're dead to basically any sideboard card. But we're playing the game against normal Bogle stuff. We're actually winning this race against normal Bogle stuff. So even if they dispel this, I can tap Skyfisher to flash it back. I just can't beat Flaring Pain or Fling here. Fuck, they're tapping red mana. We're dead. Ah, that's frustrating. Oh well. Dead to Bogles, which is a deck that I built my sideboard to beat. Yeah, our mana didn't function there. And we knew, like, the keep needed to get there, and we did not really develop our mana in a meaningful way, so bummer. Oh well. See you next round. Round 3 has begun. We're on the draw, and this hand is unplayable. Alright, this hand, however, we have turn 3 Tron with a Prism. I think Astrolabe is the bottom. I'm definitely keeping this. So I don't have a clear path to Snow Mana, but I'm going to have turn 3 Tron with Prism anyway. So Astrolabe is out of here. A forest. Is this elves? Oh, it's Stompy again. All right. We know that we like this matchup. Let's make it happen. Let's see how many Burning Tree Emissaries they have on turn 2 is the moment of truth. No Burning Tree Emissaries, no second land. Alright, this Hawk gives us something to do with our Prism mana on turn 3. Alright, I'm getting a power plant. Alright, let's see how deep we can go. Oh, yeah. That's nasty. Alright, we even picked up a Snow Plains along the way so we can get these Astrolabes down next turn. Alright, they found their second land. What horrible fate will befall me now? Alright, the Burning Tree Emissary right on time. Alright, Pitskulk is now unblockable. Oh, I'm glad they didn't turn Vault Scourge sideways, because I would have traded with it, but then they could have put Rancor on the Pitskulk in the future. Alright, so let's get these Astrolabes going, slim out this package. Oh, hello. Expedition map, always a welcome addition. Alright, so I need to make a regular white. Cast Skyfisher. Make a Snow White in response to its trigger. Pick this up. Jam Astrolabe. Alright, so we really need to... Do I attack? No. I don't want to give him the option of putting that moving that Rancor. Alright, so we really need a Strands or a Journey. We're on a pretty short clock to this Pitskulk, as is. We could even be dead next turn. Okay, they figured out how to move their Rancor over. Alright, so yeah, we need to answer this thing immediately. That is not an answer. Alright, so if I map and get Tower, that's mana neutral. Then if I cast Deep Analysis, I can't... Yeah, then if I cast Deep Analysis, I can still... Trying to figure out if there's a way to cast and flashback Deep Analysis this turn. I guess the answer is just cast it. Ugh. Not like this deck. Alright, so... I can flashback Deep Analysis and try to hit Journey. Then I'm at 1 and they're getting 2 Rancors back. I'm dead to that line. I could cast Deep Analysis, hope to draw... Can I cast 2 Deep Analyses this turn? I could also just make this land drop, flashback Deep Analysis, and hope to hit. This is a tough spot. Yeah, the Pitskulk is exactly the perfect creature for this situation for them. All right, this is tough stuff. Flashback deep analysis. Make land flashback deep analysis. I go to 1. I have 3 looks at a 3 outer. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for that. Ooh, so close. Torch kills this thing, but then they just move the Rancors over. And they get in for exactly 1. Are there any more looks here? I don't think so. I guess I could play and cycle Relic. And if I draw, I'll have to discard. If I draw Strands... Alright, didn't draw Strands. That was my last chance there. Alright. That sucked. Alright, so Standard Bearer. Weather. And the Dispels... Go back and forth on those. Let's see what we come up with here. Relic, not important. Pal Sentinel's dangerous. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with this plan from the last game. I could cut a Torch and for a Dispel if I want, like, but no, Torch is good, is removed. Like, Torch would have won that game a turn earlier if we could have just torched that Pit Skulk. Alright, this configuration we'll have to do. Alright, we got Hawks, Astrolabe, redraws. I'm keeping this. Just gotta be careful with this island because they probably have some number of river boas. Cast a creature with flying tilt. So they're going to get a 3/5 immediately if I choose to play into their hand. Wow, that card's good. 3/5 Reach Spider. 1 mana 3/5. Alright, I'm going to hold off on that until I really need to bust into it. Alright, so I can draw a bunch of cards this turn. It'll give them their 3/5, but I'm not winning a game where I don't do this. Yeah, fine. Alright, weather is a good pickup. Alright, so weather should buy us a whole lot of time. Quirion Ranger's really good. So is Savage Wipe. All their cards are very good right now. Did I just fall for something? Yep, hunger. That's fine. Let's get rid of the spider. That's kind of funny that it goes away as an enchantment, and then it'll come back as a non-3/5 enchantment if they destroy this thing. Ugh. This is not the path to victory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, they have to cast a spell to make lethal. There's a spell. Do I even have any basics left? All right, there is one. All right, so I guess the question now is, if I gain 6, what does that do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I gain 6, I'm still dead. If I gain 6 and can answer a spawn, I'm not dead anymore. All right, I'm going to have to get greedy with this weather. Okay. Guess we're still playing. Alright, dead to Savage Swipe, dead to any pump spell. Basically dead to everything. That'll do. Disappointing. This matchup's very good, but that hidden spider, maybe I should have just rammed into it on turn 1 and got this exchange happening earlier. Rough stuff. Alright, they just had it. Looks like we're not going to the Pro Tour today, but I will continue playing until I'm out of gas. See you next round. Hey everyone, we're back for round 4. So this hand does not generate colored mana. It does not make Tron. Doesn't draw cards. Even if we draw Astrolabe, we can't cast it. So this is a mulligan. This one is also pretty bad. Glinthawks without an artifact are already a mulligan. So this is already a 4-card hand, basically. So let's see what a 5 looks like. Alright, I can keep this one. I'll get rid of Weather and... yeah, probably just Muldrifter. I do have an artifact. It's just not the one I want to be bouncing. But I can get these things down without bouncing lands, which is the important part. Hey everybody, we are here for round 5. If you're thinking, wait a minute, we just played round 3, that's because I forgot to hit record during round 4. So I'm sorry about that. It was a super tight match against Stompy where I stabilized at 1 and was able to turn it around. If replays are still something you can access on Magic Online, I'll try to get the video of that match included somehow. But here we are in round 5. We're 2-2. This hand is pretty solid. And it has a turn 1 Astrolabe, turn 2 Prism. We got a Tron land, a removal spell, and a card draw spell. And that's what we signed up for. So let's do it. Opponent's on 6 already. Their name is Purple Sun Zenith. What do we think that Purple Sun Zenith would do if it was a Magic card? I just picture like lots of purple bubbles floating in the air. How would that be represented? Right, a snow-covered island. That's a popular land that we have not played against yet today. get our Astrolabe in before the spell stutter sprites come for them. End of turn Brainstorm. That tells me they don't have a second land and they want to cast a 2-drop. Or they already have a land and an Augur. I don't know. End of turn Brainstorm is usually not the right place to do that. But if they're trying to stay on curve, I can see why they might do that. Okay, never mind. They had a shuffle effect. That's why they did that. That's fine. I take it all back. All right. So they did get a full shuffle off a Brainstorm there. Ooh. I'm going to deploy this Hawk right now. I could have played Prism, but this also draws a card and gets a 2/2 body into play, so it's obviously better. So they look like they're... The second mountain's interesting. Like, Is It Scred doesn't usually play Astrolabe, but okay, yeah. Jeskai does. There we go. It all makes sense now. I'm gonna Astrolabe to draw a card. And I'm gonna cast Prism here. Journey to Nowhere might end up with a better target like Seeker of the Way. And the Skyfisher already drew a card because of Astrolabe, so it's tough to point a removal spell at a 2-mana creature that already drew a card on its way in. Yeah, I'm really hoping on Monday they do something about this. Either one of these cards could go, and I would be okay with the situation. Wait, Forest. All right. They're up to something over there. That's not the one I needed. Alright, so I'm going to play Journey. I might get blown out by Ephemerate here. Hope I don't, but gotta stem these beats a little bit. Alright, so probably casting Deep Analysis next turn, unless I draw Mole Drifter. They did not replay their Astrolabe. That means they have a counterspell of some variety. See if they want to counter this. I'm cool if they do. Alright, they did not want to counter that. Alright, then they will probably want to counter this. Oh, shit. Spell Stutter Sprite. That's way better than Counterspell. I would have been fine trading that for Counterspell. Trading for Spell Stutter is pretty brutal. So they've... Alright, there's the Astrolabe. We don't know any other cards. Alright. Do they have another Spell Stutter Sprite? Alright, maybe we get to do stuff. So I need a mine. Oh, I can't cast Palace Sentinels because they have two different colored attackers here. I'm just going to flashback deep analysis. Alright, well, we have infinite mana for the future. Yeah, I'm going to have to find some kind of way to wiggle this Palace Sentinels into play on a turn where I don't just lose the Monarch immediately. Ice. They're icing my tower. Okay. I don't care about that. I probably should have discarded Plains and then just cycled Ash Barrens. Just thin out my deck a little bit. Just a small percentage that might or might not be relevant, but alright. So, notably, they've drawn 3 Skyfishers this game to my 2. Palace Sentinels, number 2. Alright, let's jam one of these, see what happens. I have 2 strands, so we could actually do this, I guess. Alright, so my second Sentinels. Alright, I'm gonna get these into play. Really wish this Spellstutter Sprite was not present, but can't do anything about it right now. These 2 strands will protect the Monarch for at least 1 turn. Oh, a Muldrifter, okay. We have a plan to get through this Air Force they've assembled. I hope they don't just scred my creature. That would be super annoying. Guess that doesn't matter, because I can cast the second strands on red in response, then flashback, and just prevent white, blue, and red damage this turn. Alright. I hope they don't have 2 screds. Alright, how do they fuck this up for me? They can counter or kill Palace. So they're countering strands. Alright, so I'm going to flashback this strands. And name white. And then when this strands resolves, I'm going to name blue. Alright, now there's 1 strands in my graveyard. The monarchy is safe. For now. Alright, they tapped out. It's Muldrifter time. Let's make this happen, Muldrifter. It's your job, buddy. So if Muldrifter hits a white creature, so I'm actually going to cycle Ash Barrens first. Just to maximize my hits. Gotta hit a white creature. Alright. Gotta redraw. White creature. Oh, baby. So we're in business a little bit here. Still in trouble to Like, counter spells, removal spells, all these things are still troublesome. They have 3 cards left in their hand over there. So I'm going to block them both just in case they have a counter spell. Because if I don't block and then they counter it, then they're the Monarch. I'm on deck. Alright, Weather the Storm. That doesn't make me the Monarch. Alright, Glenhawk, please resolve. They're tapping mana. Lame. Alright, so I'm gonna have to let them become the Monarch, unless my Monarch draws another Strands. Bolting my Molly. Alright, so I'll draw for my Monarch. Got another. Alright, so right now Storm is 4. I could gain 12 here. I'm not sure if Storm's going to get much higher than that at any point. So I will at least give myself some breathing room on life. They're going to steal the Monarchy, though. Hopefully this Muldrifter can find me the action to steal it back. Of course, Skyfisher is such a good card when you can cast it on turn 2 for value. I know in the early days of Astrolabe's existence, I was kind of cold on banning it. Like, hey, slow down, everyone. This might not be as bad as we think. It's just new. Let it settle. But I definitely think that Astrolabe and Skyfisher can't coexist. Alright, now they're the Monarch. Bad news bears. The good news is they did not shuffle their Brainstorm. God. Is this a Archaeomancer? Sure is. And they're picking up Counterspell. Alright, so I have 1 turn to rule them all here. Hit some more Muldrifters. Journey. Journey's not really what I want. I'll certainly cast it, though. I'm going to get rid of Archaeomancer with it, because if they draw Ephemerate, they just win. I cannot abide by that. Prismatic Strands, of course, right on time. I'm not going to cast it. I have a lot of life to work with. I'm going to have to save a creature with it eventually, or if I ever get the Monarch back. Though, now... Oh, interesting. Glad I got rid of that Archaeomancer. Are they going to pick up Spellstutter? Nope, picked up Astrolabe. Yeah, now that they've untapped as the Monarch with lots of blocking ability, I'm not excited about my chances. Though, if they tap down too low, I might be able to get them with a Torch still. And of course, drawing lots and lots of Muldrifters. Never going to complain about that. We know they have Counterspell, but we're going to have to work through it eventually. Alright, so that Counterspell is gone. Just going to do my best to torch him, I guess. Sometimes the Monarch is a reasonable decking plan. Like if the person who is the Monarch can't produce enough pressure, they can just run out of cards in their deck. Though it's unlikely to occur in this game. They still have 26 cards left. And they're ahead on board also. So they have the double whammy. Skyfisher of my own. Mother may I. Alright, Spell Stutter. Huge beating. Continuing to work through these counter spells though. When we draw that torch, I want it to resolve. Yeah, I currently have 25 mana, plus 2 lands in hand, so we can go big on a torch. Alright, I'm gonna counter this, or prevent this, because if they just start attacking with everything, our clock's gonna be untenably small. Okay, so Muldrifter's dead, and if we draw a torch, we win. Alright, we're 2/3 of the way through our deck. We play 3 torches. Should have seen 2 by now, mathematically. Mathematically speaking. Come on, torch. Ugh. Some nonsense. 18 cards remain in our deck. We play 3 torches. This does let me flashback Prismatic Strands, though, and block. I can block one of their Fissures and flashback on blue. Oh, good. Archaeomancer. Now we're all the way dead, probably. I think if they get back Scred, they just win right now. So, well played, opponent. Oh, they already had a lightning bolt. Didn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. For the man who has everything. Bummer. That was exactly the kind of game that we play to, where like we scrap each other out of resources until Torch takes over. We just did not draw a torch. Alright, so I'm not bringing in a second weather, but I'm also not cutting the first. Buying a little bit of breathing room could be important. Pyroblast, Dispel, Electrickery, all powerful magic cards, and Relic also. They had at least 2 Archaeomancers. So I'm into Relic. What are the cuts? I want to bring in so many cards, but I also want to keep all my cards in my deck. Maybe I should cut the Journeys. So if they bring in Leave No Trace or Answer to the Journeys now that they've seen them, it could be a huge liability. Sending an Archaeomancer or something with an Enter the Battlefield trigger on a journey comes with certain risks. All right, I can cut one of the strands too. There's already a Relic in. Maybe I don't want 2 Electrickeries because it only really gets the Spell Stutters. Alright, I gotta cut one more if I want to bring all these in. And I do. This is actually a tough one. Maybe I can cut a map. Like, they have Spell Stutter Sprite. These games are going to go long. I'm going to hit my lands. Alright. Let's do this. I have no idea if that's right. It's just what I'm going to do. Alright. Alright, so we have a turn 2 Skyfisher, but nothing else. It's a mulligan. Alright, this is turn 3 Tron. I'm gonna bottom the redundant tower. And as always, we're gonna need a mana fixing rock. Bottom that preordain. So we're getting the mine with the map, obviously. Alright, they brought in Relic. Remember what I said in the intro where people bring in Relic against you even though it doesn't do really anything? Here we are. Like, I brought in Relic against their deck. Alright, so I'm gonna play this island to pretend I have something. I can't play any spells this turn anyway. I'm not losing anything by not assembling Tron. Didn't even activate the Relic. Alright, so I made fun of Relic, but we currently have this awkward deep analysis. I'm just not going to cast it. I'm going to wait until next turn where I can play this island, and then I can cast it and flash it back without ever giving up priority. Alright, don't even have to worry about it. They just pop their thing. Brainstorm, they must have an Ash Barrens. Chancery is a weird card to have in this deck. I don't think that's stock. Though, notably, the one thing that's very different this game than the last game, they haven't had a 2-power flyer in play since turn 2. They were unable to shuffle their Brainstorm. Alright, now they have a rock. Let's see if they have the Fisher. I mean, they probably do. They're just 15 cards into their deck at this point. Alright, so I'll cycle this while I can. Alright, deep analysis. Ooh. Prism is very good. Analyze. Alright, I'm gonna get this creature into play. We have a torch too. Backup tower. Alright. Now we're playing Magic the Gathering. So next turn I can deploy both of my rocks and have Pyroblast available. I'm going to play Prophetic Prism first so they can't spell stutter it. Alright, maybe they're just going to tap out on their turn so I can go completely ham. Alright, so they left up Counterspell mana. Alright, I can play Astrolabe now because I have red mana for the Electrickery that it turns out I didn't even need. Alright, we should be able to go pretty big here. White. Cast Glinthawk. I'm going to respond to its trigger. to make sure it resolves. All right. Yes. Pick this back up. Astrolabe back in. And 1, 2. So I'm going to pick up the Prism this time because I'm out of snow mana to make. No, that's not true. I have an actual land. Alright, so they found a spot where I was tapped out of meaningful colored mana, so that was pretty tight. I can still deep analysis though. Alright, so we got a counterspell out of the hand, added to our board. Got 2 colored sources in play for next turn. I'm going to double block. Like, if they have a removal spell, it's going to get me eventually, so let's at least do it on our terms. Yep, there's that. Like, I'd rather have them spread something on their turn than pyroblast something on mine. Let's go Muldrifter. Counter their counterspell. Hope they don't also have Dispel. Of course they do. Sure. Let's jam another one of these. And get this in here too. Pick up the Prism because that's one I can cast right now. Yeah, so everything I'm doing right now is just whittling down their hand so I can torch them. Alright, this time I am not going to play into the easy 2-for-1. If I'm able to become the Monarch, I'm going to want blockers available. So we have 3, 6, 9, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 mana next turn. So Torch is not there yet. We have another Glint Hawk. They top that Preordain. That's scary. And played Ash Barrens. Oh no. They have the Ephemerate. Oh, they didn't. Alright. They just didn't have Ephemerate. I'm comfortable with that situation. Oh, that's cool. We got all the removal spells out of their hand anyway. And tapped them out. So, let's start doing stuff, I guess. I'm gonna tap in the safest way. Yes, pick up Astrolabe. I'm gonna cast it with blue snow mana, so I can just keep having white mana available. Like, I don't want to get locked out on white mana. we got a red blast. That's cool. 1, 2, 3. Skyfisher. This one's going to pick up the Prism, because that'll give me a ton of colored mana available on their turn. Power Plant. Relic. So Relic will get ahead of any Archaeomancer shenanigans they might be considering. Also going to have to really watch my clock if this goes to game 3. This looks like a Muldrifter. Clear out those graveyards while I have mana floating. Alright, are they dead? 3, 6, 9, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We can zap them for 14. They are not dead. Okay. Analysis. Oh, okay. Now I can torch them now and torch them next turn. Like, they can't interact with this because spells that target torch while it's on the stack cost an extra 2 mana, and they don't have that much mana. There's another Muldrifter incoming. Alright, they don't have counterspell mana. Oh, and now I have Dispel. Alright, so we got him. Yep, so as I was trying to describe game 1, we just work to the point where you can torch them. And that's the plan. Alright, gotta play super fast game 3. 8 minutes left on the clock. Electrickery was not very good, but it did let me play into Spell Stutter fearlessly. They just didn't have one. Alright, let's do it. Alright, we have an unkeepable hand. I like when it's at least easy. Easy Maul. Another easy Maul. Easy keep. Bottom Relic and one of the towers. Sand's not great, but on 5, you know, what are you looking for? Alright, we have 2 Tron lands now. We can cast this Red Blast too. That's important. Having Astrolabe activate our sideboard cards immediately. Big game. They bottom with Preordain. Gorilla Shaman. That's lame. Like I was saying, having Astrolabe is nice, but pretty soon we're not going to. Yep, that's gone. I'll just land cycle now while I can. Alright, well, we can assemble Tron at least. I'm not just popping it because, like, maybe there's a world where they target it with Shaman, but, like, just to force some action? I don't know. Seems unlikely, but... Alright, so I need a power plant here. I get to cast Muldrifter next turn. I don't have much faith that it will resolve, but I do get to cast it. This awesome Gorilla Shaman doing its job here. Though, there's not a blue counterspell they could have, and if they have Red Blast, I wouldn't have been able to Pyroblast that anyway, so I guess Gorilla Shaman was only, like, okay. Alright, Muldrifter's fired. Alright, we have a torch, so there's an endgame plan. Fire Ice is a weird card to have in your deck post-board against Tron. Do they think they're gonna, like, mana screw me, or do they just not have better cards to bring in? I don't know. Bummer. Now they're doing the thing and we're not doing the thing. Good news is we're casting another Muldrifter here. Alright, we even get to... cast a Glinthawk. So we had an artifact, not really the one we wanted, but beggars can't be choosers. It drew a card, got a 2/2 body into play, I'll take it. I'm not offering the 2-for-1 here. I have Palace Sentinels in hand. I really want to be able to get and keep the Monarch. This is Archaeomancer, Blat. So they have Scred in their hand that we know about. This might be crazy, but I'm jamming this. So close. So becoming the Monarch kind of forces them to do stuff. Hopefully stuff they didn't want to do, but nope, not like that. Yeah, they wanted to do all that. Now they're the Monarch and we're almost certainly dead. Yeah, so this Gorilla Shaman killing that Astrolabe was so big. Like, it was just insanely important in this matchup. Alright, we're not really close to torching them out. And we don't have red mana. So, like, we have to go -1 or 2 mana on whatever our torch math is, because we're going to have to cast a thing. Yeah, we're not winning this game. So we're dead to any burn spell or counter spell. Alright, well, that's it. We're 3-3. I can no longer prize this event. Therefore, I am done. This video is concluded, or at least this tournament is. Let's get out of here. Alright, so this is the deck. I still think it's good. If we could run back the same tournament, and if I was told I would play against Stompy 3 times, Bogles, and Jeskai Astrolabe, I would choose exactly this deck. I think we caught some long runs with no action against the Bogles and the Stompy we lost to, but the power level of this deck is there. Unfortunately, I think this is going to be the last tournament I play with this deck, because I think that this or this is going away very soon. But we'll see. But anyway, thanks for checking it out, and I will see you at the next video.